this is a big family because we laugh, we cry with them. We are happy when they are happy. And we spend, like me, I spend 8 hours with them over here. I go to my house only to sleep. And I miss this place when I'm off. Sometimes I'm thinking like, if I go today, I can finish the fingernails for some of the residents or things like that. You have a bond with them. Because I think if you don't love them, you cannot be here. It's something that it comes from your heart.
Love is greater than fear is an incredibly powerful concept. And because it uses the word love. And love is the most powerful word I know of in the English language. It is so powerful, it scares most of us. And, and we don't want to use it, except maybe in very close relationships with our family.
I can understand the perspective that it is odd to use the word love in a corporate setting. There are a lot of CEOs who just simply don't use the word love. At Silverado, it makes sense.
This is a word used throughout time, which people don't often realize. So this is not a weak word. In fact, it's the strongest word. George Washington, when he concluded the war and just before he assumed the presidency, said goodbye to his troops. And he said, "I love you all." You know, love is greater than fear is a core operating philosophy that is so powerful, it translates everything. I first learned about the love greater than fear concept was at a men's retreat, a pretty difficult time in my life. So as I was coming from the mountain retreat down the mountain, I said to myself, I'm going to really do what I can to change my life to come more from love rather than fear. And I should tell the people in the company about it. You know, this could really help Silverado. So Monday morning, I have an executive team meeting. I go in and I talk to them about it. Every face around the table is pretty fearful. The language came out that love's really not a very good word, Lauren. Why don't we try something better? What shall we put on the board that's better than the word love? Because I'm all for it. You know, this is just so powerful. You come up with a better word, I'm happy with that. And there was not a lot of words coming out. There weren't any words coming out, and then finally we got like, you know, so I write like on the board, and we look at that and we go like, that's not too strong, is it? And then I looked at everybody, and everybody looked at me, and I said, what are we doing here? Are we afraid of the word love? Should we be? Well, maybe we should. Company's going well. You know, how will investors see this? Now, families, might get it. Caregivers, might get it, but how will the outside world see it? Will they see us as crazy? We're taking a word that's not commonly used in the business world, and we're translating it to the business world. What love is the opposite of fear. It really comes to play in every decision we make where our emotions are involved, and that's just about every decision that we come across.
Love is greater than fear to me means that every conversation I have with my clients, whether it's a difficult one, recommending hospice or recommending a time to move in, I don't let fear control that conversation. I come at it at love because I know that that's in their best interest. You always present yourself with compassion, but you can't let fear rule you.
It's pretty simple what we do here at Silverado, and it goes to our love is greater than fear. We hold their hands, we sit with them, we pay attention to them, and we're present in their lives. And it's one of the most important things that our associates can give is our time. And we're present and we're focused, and we show that their lives matter and that they have value. They intrinsically have value. We're not giving them any value, but we're creating an atmosphere where their value can come to the surface. This person matters. And so we do it through really just talking about it and just continuing to talk about our mission and asking our associates, what's their purpose? Why are they here? Why have they been chosen to work here at Silverado? And that they have one day to make it a really, really good day for our residents, because they may or may not be here tomorrow, but that really is irrelevant. I mean, the whole point is that our residents live in the moment and that they've actually been teaching us a lesson to slow down and live in the moment with them.
We want to make sure that people are always aware that wherever they are, they always bring a core of themselves. And we want them to be aware of where they are, whether they're having a great day, when people are happy, things are going right in your life, you're happy with your love life, there's money in the bank, and your children are healthy, then you're happy. But then when there are problems, then sometimes you come from a very negative and anxious, a fearful place. And all we want is that people to be aware of that, because whatever's going on with you internally, you carry it out and the residents feel it. And we don't want that. So we want a level of awareness every day. I mean, where you are, how you're doing, and how you can make life a better place for the residents that we're here to care for.
When we left the executive committee meeting, realizing that we're going to go ahead with this, I said, we want to have this culture change happen in the company in a year. That's pretty quick for a major culture change to happen. I went to the administrators meeting and then I explained Love Greater Than Fear as I knew it. They're a little tentative about this whole program. I said, okay, you're going to go talk to your leadership team members. So we have about 70 people in the room. And so I explained Love Greater Than Fear, and before I'm done explaining, guess what? The caregiver says, of course, that's what we do. Like, I finally got it. Good for you, Lauren. It was an aha for our leaders. That's what they do. That's why they're here. And that's their calling. When you're looking for associates, you're looking for the heart. Looking for someone who's in alignment with wanting to really change the lives of the people we're serving, the residents, the families, and each other. The purpose of the company is to change the world in the way memory care services are delivered. The vision is to give people a better quality of life. And they need to be in alignment with that, or this is just not the right company. You want an associate who is connected with their spirit. I don't care what their religious point of view is. I don't care if they don't have a religion. But I do care that they're in touch with their spirit. And if they're not a spiritual person, then they don't belong in Silverado.
There are three things that I look for. First, it's character. That's the number one thing. The second thing I look for is energy. And the third is competency. Most folks switch it and they start with competency first. But a lot of the competencies can be trained.
Hiring staff, that's very critical to what we do. We always want to make sure that we look for people who are not just out to have a job, but it's almost like looking for somebody who has a calling. We want people that we can really trust, would be here for the right reasons. And I think many times during the hiring process, we ask questions that may not be typical of other occupations. I personally would ask, who is your hero and why, and try to get to the story of what is it that they look for in a job. Is it just a regular job that would enable them to have food on the table for their loved ones? Or is it something that will give back more to the world?
When I interviewed, the person I interviewed with, told me it's not easy. You have to be a certain type of personality and you have to be very accepting. And I just knew right then and there, though, that I could do it.
Steve and Jim and I started the company. We said we want to create an environment that is a home away from home. Now we're sitting around a table. We don't have anything. We don't have a community. We just got dreams. And we said, what do we want Silverado to be for staff members? And we said, we really want them to see it as a home away from home, as a place they're looking forward to going to. Yes, they're going to work hard, but when they go home from there, they felt like that they had a purposeful day, that they made a difference, and they're looking forward to coming back tomorrow.
Well, we do have one of the lowest, if not the lowest, staff turnover in the industry. Industry-wide, I think the turnover rate's like 80%. Just because the work is so hard, and if there's no support from management, or if people don't see the value of what they do, if they're not into the vision, if they don't feel inspired, then they just move from one assisted living to another. But here we want to make sure that when people come here, they understand what the vision is. What are they doing every day? It's not just you helping a resident for showers. It's not just you helping a resident eat, but what does that mean for them? how does that change their lives? And because of that, the turnover rate at Silverado, I think it's like 20%. And that's, for us, that's not even acceptable. We want it to be even lower if possible.
My grandpa always said, if you are gonna be one cook, you have to be the best cook. So that's the culture I transfer to all my workers.
Well, fostering creativity of staff and innovation of staff is really an important driver for continuing to progress the growth and knowledge base of the company. Anybody in this company, we will get behind their education. So we have stories of caregivers becoming CNAs, becoming LVNs, becoming RNs, becoming Director of Health Services.
I like training my people. I like bringing the dishwashers to be cooks and then to become a director someday to help their own lives with their families and just do the same thing that I did.
We have many, many people who've grown up through the company and advanced in leadership up to vice presidents, senior vice presidents. So I think anybody could be the CEO if they want to be. I started as a caregiver, as a maintenance guy in the kitchen, you name it, job at my aunt and uncle's psychiatric hospital, and here I am the CEO. If I can do it, anybody can do it because I'm not that smart. And these other people that work with us are much smarter.
Oh, I think there's so much room for freedom. The leadership team asks for advice, which I love. They value your opinion, and we're all included. It's hard to explain, but it just makes it feel like everybody's on the same side.
The reason I stay at Silverado is because of the freedom that I am given to be able to be myself, first of all, and the freedom to be able to let the residents be themselves.
We have a corporate menu, but we have the freedom also to change it as much as we want.
And that's the point. They're so much smarter than we are in terms of developing and evolving new systems of doing things, that why would we want to hold them back?
Lauren is an amazing CEO, because the neat thing about Lauren is that he doesn't want yes men. There's not like everybody agrees with Lauren. We will have a very spirited disagreements, and I like that, and Lauren fosters that, encourages that. It's an important cultural value that's driven down through the whole organization so that the person in plant services can think of an innovative way to do their job, or people in culinary can say, oh, we tried to do this thing with food because we're trying to make this food that we've had to grind up so that people wouldn't choke on it, but we found a way to make it look more appetizing and taste more appetizing and be more presentable and be excited that they've done something that they haven't seen elsewhere. And that makes a whole difference in your culture.
People who engage in a workforce, the studies show the reason they engage isn't salary. Those are dissatisfiers if they're too low, but they're not satisfiers. And the people engage in a place because their purposes are in alignment with that community's purpose. I look at it from the perspective of if you do a point scale of 0 points is not good, 100 points is great. So over here on the fear zone is 0 points. Over here on the love zone is 100 points. And if you want to move your life to happiness, it has nothing to do with your economic means. It has nothing to do with your material possessions. It has everything to do with how you make your decisions. And if you make your decisions coming from love most of the time, you'll be happier than if you're a billionaire over here living in the land of fear. But not only will you become a much happier person, you'll become a much better supervisor, leader, engager of others, and husband, wife, and family member, father, mother. All of that gets better, and it's pretty an amazing thing to see. And it's all of it's free. All of it's available to anyone.
We are at the forefront of what we're doing, and one of the things that Lauren Shook, our CEO and co-founder, always says is that we're not patenting it. We want people to adopt the things we're doing because we think that every memory care community should be like this. And I think that says a lot about what you're doing when you're not trying to just keep it to yourself. You want to show people your outcomes. You want to show people that although you're thinking outside the box, look at all of these great benefits that are coming from it. And so I just feel a lot of pride when I think about what Silverado's doing and how I can help a little bit within that process.
I do think that it's a principle that they will be speaking of in business schools down the road.
For those that are involved in changing the culture, I understand that that's a difficult shift to make, and I encourage it because it's really essential. You'll get better results. You'll get people more engaged in life. You'll be able to touch the spirit of the person when you move away from institutional task-oriented doing things to people, because you can still do the same task while you're holding their hand.